little bit having knowledge of Employee Central, but my core modules are recruiting and onboarding.
Okay, right. Great to know. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, what about others?
So this is
Yeah, hi.
Prem.
So
I
I'm
already
Vikram.
working on.
Okay, go ahead. No problem.
So this is Prem. Already I'm working on Employee Central consultant, and I have a knowledge on uh, ECP, not ECP, ECC payroll.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. Yes, Swarnalata, next you.
Yeah, hi. So I'm working on-premise payroll module, but I do
Mm-hmm.
have knowledge on Employee Central. I worked on it for a few years,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm aware of like onboarding and recruitment modules.
Okay, great to know. Right, so others, would you like to tell me, or it's okay if you don't tell, but I'm just trying to understand what set of audience are here. So everyone is aware this employee central is there. So success factors, I don't need to introduce now to you all because you are very much aware. This is a cloud HR platform which manages the human capital wherever you have the human resources or human capital. Those things are being managed in the cloud by buying some licenses with the product called SAP. Now, this product has a certain modules, almost 14 are there. Okay, I will just name it out. EC, ECP, RCM, onboarding, RMK, recruiting marketing, PMGM, performance management, goal management, variable pay, succession planning, compensation, career development planning, and workforce analytics, right? Then what else I have left? SAP XAM and
LMS.
mm, yes, thank you. LMS, Learning Management System. So, wherein these many modules are there, now why we are going for ECP is the first thing. Managing ECP at cloud is bit easy, you know. That's the first thing we are going with Employee Central Payroll. How it is easy, how it is different from existing. So this ECP will have features like alerts. Your payroll run can be done prior by simulation or not even simulation. Just you get the data updated. You can write your custom alerts. Alerts in the sense it is called to be technically alerts, but in ECP they are called to be errors. Okay, when we are running errors. So you can define, let's say you can say so and so particular field. The employee's dependent details are missing. So to raise that alert or to raise that message, what fields has to be checked, you will mention. Saying that dependent's name and contact number are missing, so dependent details are not there, error has to pop. So why these dependent details are needed for us is because we are running employee benefits or some allowances to their family. So for that purpose, we are raising dependence error. Same way, different errors like personal information data is missing, employee ID, or when you are rehiring, two different IDs has come up, and the payroll start date is a different one, and employee's hire date is a different one, or you are trying to run payroll for past 1 week. That means for the same employee, it is running for a different date. So these kind of issues, we raise some customer. With that, what happens? It is not only throwing error message in ECP for us, it will also give you a solution along with error. That's the difference. Any system can raise error, right? Whenever something is gone wrong, as per the configuration, if I said this has to be like this, automatically it will raise an error message. When you go to EC, if you want to raise an error message at validation of different field, right? I will now just quickly log into the system. So here I will go to add a new employee. So from this add new employee, you have to observe one thing. Different fields will have different validations. Validation in the sense, it will validate whatever the data you put in and it will throw some errors. The same way ECP supports us to have that validation message in the system. Seems the system is a bit slow. Okay, I will come to that again. So this errors and its solutions are provided from ECP. Most of the time when you click on the solution, it will redirect you to the place where we are having the solution. Let's say you missed out some info at a date of birth. You missed out some info at date of birth. What it will do is error will redirect to this place only where you have missed it. So I just opened this to show you the validation. This is your custom error message. System will not define this. You defined it. The same way we define some customized alerts. According to that, we get the solution also from the system. Most of the time, we have some keys to create these alerts. With that keys, what SAP will do is it will give us the solution also. So that's the first benefit when using ACP. You will get alerts and the solution along with your alert. Okay. Then distribution of alerts will happen in ACP. Distribution of alerts means errors. So you can assign to particular error who is responsible. So if you have a payroll team of 5 members and you're running payroll for whole country, India, this day, on this particular week or particular day, at a time, if some 100 errors are there, I will segregate 20 to one member, 20 to other member, 20 to other. What happens is parallelly everyone will work and equal amount of errors will be given and we will get progress in the payroll. I don't think so those many we will get, but alerts distribution happens in ECP so that it will be easy for processing and quick for processing, right? So the other important third thing is KPIs. KPIs means key performance indicators. Everywhere nowadays key performance indicators are there. Not only with respect to this, even in your employment, current employment, your KPIs will be there. Basing on that, your goals and everything are set. Okay. These key performance indicators will show you the stats. Stats of what? How many has been newly hired this month? And how many has been terminated this month? And for how many payroll has been run? And how much revenue has been gone this month and previous month? Total gross pay of this month and total gross pay of previous month, or total net pay of this month and total net pay of this last month. So keep these key performance indicators will show us exactly the figures to improvise our performances, or from the payroll end, what is the difference. With KPIs, most of the things will be clear. Basically, how we check a company's performance by its revenue only. Then if ECP is providing that comparison from last month to this month or last 6 months to this 6 months, it is very good feature that we do have. Directly from the system we can see how our revenue is going and how we are paying, how many employees are increasing, how our budget is going. Everything we can check through KPIs. So these three things are making a special place with ECP. Other than these three, everything is very common. Everything is linked with EC only. Why everything is linked with EC? Because this is a data bank, data repository. I call EC as a data bank because I put data, I take out the data, and then whenever there are some changes, I will modify that data the same way how you put money and take it back, right? So this EC provides us data to run the payroll. And to set up these connections, because data has to come to here. This is an other module, this is another module for me. So integration has to happen. In which way? In a way that data exactly flows from one module to other. How similarly from one system to other system. Let us take a normal example. I have some work at my home where I have to fit in the pipe. The pipe has been broken. Water is flowing out. I will first stop that flow of water. Then I will try to check from the end of other pipe to the end of other pipe. How can I fit in both? They both has to communicate for me. How they will communicate? If I can fit in the other, it will communicate. The same way if EC can fit in their data in the other, they will start communicating. If I have to communicate with a different system, first I have to adjust myself according to that system, right? If you are going for a dinner in an some hotel, you will be dressing in a different way. If you are going for an party, you will have a different fashion or different dressing style. You go according to it. If you are going to attend an official meeting, you wear a different fashion. So the places are different and you have to style yourself and fit yourself into that. The same way I will fit EC according to ECP. How? In EC job information, I'm just giving an example. In EC job information, there is a field called cost center. Okay. This cost center length is added in that field properties. It will be close to 32 or 128. However, default it comes how much SAP gives. Okay. It's fine in EC for me. I can have any much. Okay. But when it comes to ECP, I have to fit the cost center within, how many characters? 8 characters. That means what should I do? While I am creating a cost center, I'm sorry. While I am creating a cost center name or code, the external code of the cost center, or some people call it as cost center ID, I have to create it only in 8 characters so that it will flow. What happens? No. We cannot fit in 8 characters. I have a big lengthy name for me. So how can I fit in there? It's okay. If you have big length, create it. What happens, ECP will take only 8 characters from it. The first 8 characters, even there is a space, it will take that space also. So while creating, there are some mapping conditions which has to automatically match to your cost center. So for that reason, we need to integrate the system, make the system talk with each other to adjust our data of EC into ECP. I have to follow the guidelines of ECP. I don't have any other choice. So this is how a connection is set between two systems. And in this process of setting connection, you should be also aware of a little bit of EC. I don't say everything of EC should be known, but at least with the data management, you have to know EC. What comes under this data management? Manage business configuration, which we are very well known, which is nothing but succession data model, country specific succession data model. We have to understand that one, manage business configuration. The second thing we need to understand is our people profile. Okay, if people profile is known, that is good. The third thing we need to understand is, as a part of EC and ECP, you should be aware of role-based permissions, nothing but RB. And finally, we have two more things to talk on is OData API dictionary, which we should be aware of, because that's where your exact unique code of the field will be identified. And the other thing is integration. Integration along with that ISC. What is that ISC? Intelligent Service Center. So if you know about these five from EC end, or even you can consider Integration Center and ISC as platform actually. Okay. So then you will be much aware on ECP from the system. So here, all these modules, even not only our ECP, rest all these modules are also dependent on EC, which we are very much aware, because EC gives data to rest of all these modules. Okay, we talked a lot about data. How about systems? What systems are we connecting? What is going to happen to our systems? You are going to connect actually two systems, but you will feel like you are connecting some three systems. How? ECP is a system. I agree that's a module for us. But when you go into ECP, the back-end processing of the payroll, however, you have a good UI, you are getting some alerts, you are getting some errors, that's fine. But where this payroll is processing, the payroll engine is still in your SAP, right? So we will connect our payroll systems through payroll system configuration. And especially for payroll, we have certain portlets available, which we map it on our system. If I can randomly go to any employee. Okay, I'm going to this employee. There is a special portlet payroll. Inside that you have multiple things. And remember, taxation or tax file number superannuation belongs to country specific. That means this belongs to Australia. So country wise, you will have a payroll system configuration defined. So according to them, your portlets or links which are available here can change anything, right? So once I click on pay statement, you know what happens? It will give an UI presence in SuccessFactors only, but this pay statement will be at the back end coming from SAP. Okay, so different things. Anyway, so payroll system configurations exist, different country specific tax, and how we have to add those profiles. So we have mostly I will talk on two countries payroll. One is US or Australia. Sometimes least I will speak about Indian payroll because I get more requests to talk about US payroll only. So for that reason, I will talk more on the US payroll. Okay. So different configurations exist which we can assign with the payroll system configuration. Then we have payroll control center configuration. This is the main key to run the payroll in ECP. Payroll control center is a place where we get all these alerts and everything. So here we will have a configuration assigned to payroll process, and payroll errors will show up on payroll control center. So I'm just giving you a brief on them. I will go one by one topic on all these payroll control center, KPIs, alerts or errors or payroll systems, and the mapping between your EC data and with SAP's info types I have to do. I don't do mapping between EC and ECP because the ECP's background is nothing but SAP's info type. I have to map your fields with the info types in SAP. So all those things we will take care and we will be discussing in the sessions of employee central payroll. At least for who are not much aware of EC data maintenance, I will take a 2 or 3 sessions on EC to make you better understand what is a field and its properties and how it is going further with the payroll. Okay. So these are all just an introduction to you how the payroll is going to work and to just let you know how we are going forward with these sessions. Right? So as part of this training, what we are going to do is we are going to give you end-to-end guide, implementation guide, and we will give you system for practice in EC. Remember, I am not giving you, I will only show you SAP system in the sessions. I cannot give you SAP system to practice. Okay. Because I don't have that authority to give you. Because SAP login is needed. I cannot install in your personal laptops and all. So I can only show you in the session. But this system is given for practice. How much limit there is, you can practice till that for payroll in this system. And everyday recording will be given. And for your convenience, I will give you mapping videos. Okay. For only especially ECP, I have these videos. The mapping videos with me, there are almost some 16 videos on ECP mapping. I will give it with you. Okay. So after these mapping videos, how to do mapping, so clearly mentioned so that even though you don't touch the system, you will be very helpful with these videos. Anytime you start doing integration or this ECP implementation, you can refer to them. And if you would like to analysis your skills, I can take a mock interview for you. Okay. So that is also possible. And mostly I will give you tasks, some real time tasks to practice on the system as well. So the total duration will be 18 to 20 days for ECP to complete. Almost it will be done in 18, but if it gets prolonged on some of the days, it will take 20 days for you to complete these ECP training sessions. Okay. So these are all the things from my end. Anyone have any questions? You can ask me. We can have an interactive session, or you can let me know your feedback as well, how it is going. And sorry, I did not introduce myself. So myself, I'm Akshara, your trainer for ECP. I even handle EC. So I am certified in EC, ECP, onboarding, and RCM. And I have did 5 implementations in EC and 2 end-to-end implementations in ECP and RCM2, onboarding 3. So from the past 9 years, I'm with SuccessFactors. Before that, I am in SAP HCM, wherein I used to work in time management, OMPA, these things in SAP, and I am even very much aware of the payroll in SAP. I have some 4 to 5 years of experience in that. Okay, in SAP HCM. So even in recruiting part of SAP system, I'm very much aware. So this is all my experience, and I'm not sure, I don't count the batches, but almost this is something around 70 or 80 plus batch. From past 5 to 6 years, I'm in training with this. So yes, this is all about my experience and about myself. Right? We are open for questions now.
Hello.
Yes, Prem.
Yeah. So exactly right now there is one implementation going on for me, EC
Mhm,
and ECP
mhm.
also they are going to implementation. They are saying that if we have a ECP, then no need of a compensation portlet and bank details in EC. Is it right?
Compensation and bank details. If see one thing here, it is maintained. It's kind of an optional. Compensation
Okay.
and bank details will be also maintained at payroll anyhow. If they don't want to maintain here, they can maintain there. So it is finally their efforts that they wanted to put on and give the user also an experience. So it's so that they can see in SF and they can also understand from their payroll system. So it's kind of a choice.
But every user won't give ECP logins, right?
Yes, that's true.
So their salary structure, if we not maintaining and recurring and directions one time one, we are not maintaining in compensation portal in EC. They don't know about anything. Only they can see once the payroll was run and process the uh, salary statement to the EC, then they will get to know only the salary statement, but they don't have the CTC part and everything, right? If they won't maintain compensation in EC.
Just to give you clarification, we should know whether they are maintaining or showing it in a different system. If they are already showing
No,
it
no
or
other
giving the
system.
information, then obviously they have to
No,
maintain it in AC.
okay. Actually, they are into ECC. Now they are moving to EC and ECP, and they said they want to stop using ECC.
So the best practice is you should ask them to follow. Compensation information has to be shown to employee self,
Okay,
not to the all roles, at least to the employee self. And payroll admin has to see. Both the roles should have this compensation and whether it is a recurring payment or non-recurring payment. So these information should be shown to them.
okay, got it. Thank you.
Actually, I'm Sai Krishna here. I just want to
Yes.
add to the point of the Prem was asking. So, is that any issue which arises in the replication? Because the compensation, if the client denies, and the payment information they need to update. So, without info type 8, info type 9 will not update, right, in the replication.
See, here thing is if they are going to use parallelly the both system, then you will face issue with replication. If they don't want something to be replicated, they wanted to maintain in this system and only run the payroll, then what happens is every time data from the payroll will be updated and they will run it. And it is right, info type has to be maintained. Okay, but it doesn't mean every time this data that you maintain in EC certain portal, it has to replicate every time. If there is some delta change only, it will take. Every time you run it, it won't pick it. If there
I know.
is change, then it will pick it.
Correct. See, without I'm not updating the compensation information, but the client is maintaining the payment information. So when the system is trying to replicate, it will run an error message, right?
Compensation is different, payment is different. Payment is
Correct.
nothing but your bank details. Every
Bank.
time you don't change this, right?
Correct.
And
Correct.
compensation is your salary structure, it will change once in a year, right?
Correct.
So
Correct.
these are things that are very much stable. I don't say it is going to be particularly, it is permanently stable. They are pretty much stable. In this, what has to happen is when they are maintaining both systems and they wanted to have the both system to run, then it has to replicate as per the mapping that we do. Daily, it will fetch any delta is there, it will take and update there. If there is no delta, it will be stable and automatically payroll. So here, if they are not going with the ECC, they don't want to maintain the data, but they wanted to have the payroll run, then it will automatically take from the other way, EC payroll. Every time from here, we are sending to EC payroll. So from while running, it will pick and update.
Okay.
Right, Sridhar? Questions?
One question, you mentioned that you will not provide an access to ECP because of SAP GUI, right?
Yes.
Is it possible that you can provide the access where we can use a web version?
That we need to check on because remote version we are processing it. We are trying We tried it last month to give them remote version. I'm checking on that. If that is also possible, we will provide.
Okay.
Jitendra, questions? Yes, Syed, go ahead.
So are you going to teach us the replication process as well?
Yes, because we have data mapping. When mapping is there, I obviously need to show you replication.
And the replication is definitely from ECC, ECC to EC, right?
Yes, not ECC to EC, EC to ECC.
EC to EC. ECC. Okay, so the configuration mapping is done in SAP again.
Yes,
BIB.
obviously. Configuration mapping. Yes, you are right. BIB, Business Integration Builder.
Okay. So that you're gonna teach.
Yes.
Hi,
Akshara.
So Akshara, you said EC. Will you be teaching the BIB or just ECP mapping, Widow? Is this not specific to ECP?
So here, this BIB is the connector between EC and ECP. As I already stated, ECP is your front-end screen. The back end of it is nothing but ECC, where I have to map it with info types. Obviously, I have to use a tool called Business Integration Builder to make the configuration. So I have to teach you how Business Integration Builder will work at the mapping, how I have to map with the info types and the fields here. That's the reason I told you I have to even let you know OData API dictionary and the queries of it, how a compound employee query will run. So these are all part of the mapping and integration I have to teach you. Nothing but for me, I call it on a whole, it has a point-to-point integration.
Right,
PTP.
right. That's got it. P2P. Yeah, that's where I get confused. Like, the BIB component of SAP ECC is different than the P2P component, right? That's
Yes.
where I was confused. Okay.
Yes.
Akshay, I just want to understand how this posting works from ECP to the S4 system. I mean, it works like an ECC, or is there any different way?
It works same as like ECC. There is no different way here. Posting happens as usual, which you follow the previous.
Okay, the same symbolic waste type and symbolic accounts and symbolic account to GL account.
Yes.
The mapping will be the GL account will be done in the ECP side, or we need to do it in the S4 system?
It's in S4 system, not in the ECP side.
Okay, so only the mapping from waste type to symbolic account we have done it in ECP, and then from symbolic to GL account should be done it in S4, is it?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Someone has raised their voice just before. Swati or someone?
And actually, I have one question. Assume I do not have any payroll configuration knowledge in SAP ECC side, like, SAP HR, HCM, payroll knowledge.
Right.
Okay. The configurations, wage type configurations, and all that SPRO steps. Okay. And but I know the concepts. That's it. So if I have knowledge on EC, and if I learn this ECP mapping, make sure the data replication works and all that part, will that be enough, or do I need to have the knowledge of all payroll configuration to implement ECP? Is it something we can copy from their existing ECC system if someone is migrating to ECP?
You cannot copy. You cannot copy the configuration when we are migrating. Okay, that's the first thing. because I don't say that this ECP or your payroll configuration in EC system is something system specific. It is country specific. It will keep on changes country wise. All the payroll configurations are country specific. They are not configurations which we can generalize or make it a generic one, right? So here in ECP, what happens is to reduce the knowledge. That means to reduce more technical terms of your payroll, which is already existing with the legacy SAP system, we are using ECP. So in that better way, there is no need that you must go into deep dive of the payroll that is of SAP HR. Okay, you can just try to understand the mappings and the configurations, and however we will be learning of the payroll configurations with the country wise, so you will be much aware. Okay, so here ECP is for reducing not only for the client end user experience, for also for consultant to make it a better way to lesser our technical terms we use there. That's how SAP is emerging, just because more technical terms there, PA20, PA40, some RTP or something. Instead of that, directly a screen has been given to reduce our configurations and remember all those transactions. So not that much is needed.
Okay.
Yes, new. I did not receive from the other people questions. Are you
Hi,
good?
Aksara. Shashwati this side.
Yes, yes.
Hello.
Tell me.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think someone put the difference like on working on BIB. So I am working on BIB, and I want to understand like what will be the difference like between this ECP and BIB, only BIB thing. So all the payroll
Actually,
calculations, functions, schemas, this all will be running in ECC side only, right?
yes.
Okay.
So actually, the wrong comparison is BIB and ECP. ECP is a module, BIB is an integration builder between two different modules. Okay, so your ECP is a module that is going to run the payroll, and integration builder is going to integrate with the different things in the system and make a connection and make a data. Before this, I would like to take example of EC and SAP HR system, nothing but SAP HCM, PAOM. So to talk with these two systems, we are using CPI. CPI in the sense cloud platform integration. That's another kind of platform like how BIB is there. Here in CPI, we will have iFlows designed. With iFlows, data will flow from there to here, here to there. Why we maintain CPI is mostly to talk with the different systems via a platform and connect the modules or connect the applications. The same CPI I used to connect with OpenText. The same CPI I used to connect with a different other system. It can be a DocuSign, it can be a different thing. Okay, that's how BAB is used to talk with only SAP applications. But whereas our ACP, if you integrate through CPI into a different system, okay, they will say data is not going to come from SAP. Data is there with us in a different system. We want to integrate with EC and go with ECP. And from ECP, it has to send us the pay statement to our other system, different application. I use CPI. As it is between SAP and SF, I am using BIB. That's a difference.
Okay, so whatever payroll calculations and all this will be now done in cloud. That means, do you mean that, or we need the data in ECC also, or it is like ECC won't be used when we go with the implementation with EC and ECP?
Right. So the difference between ECC and your ECP is nothing but You don't use the raw material, you use the fine version of it. That's it. As you you don't go to see where your product is being ready. You just buy it from a shop and then use it. The same way I will use my product as an end user. I will use it at ECP as a configuration consultant. I use at ECP and do some configurations. When it goes to ECC, it will be there. The data will be flown with the user IDs and all. But what is needed for payroll only will be maintained at ECC. Other things, there are a lot of things in EC. To be frank, if I scroll down, there will be n number of portlets in EC where I can accommodate and fetch data, which are not relevant for payroll in an employee profile. So it's only good to maintain payroll. Other data, it is not good because always we have an UI here in the EC. So that's what we can do the difference between the systems. Okay, right. Any other questions, or we can wrap the session? And one more thing I wanted to tell you is, please send the feedback to Subbu how the session is going on. You wanted to reduce the space or speed of the session that I am going in. You can tell Subbu, and you can give your available time and slot to Subbu. According to that, how comfortable with all, Subbu will plan a session if you are okay with this, right? So if you have any other things, you can drop an email to this. I'm just dropping my email. If you still have questions, please drop an email to this one. I will be answering them. And if you want to get some more clarifications, you can contact Subbu so that he can let me know. Okay. So these are all the things from the session. I hope you had a good understanding on the ECP and EC and ECC systems. And we will learn more once we start the sessions on how it is going on. So this is all for today, right? Thank you so much for joining on Friday morning. Have a great day ahead.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.